the fourth one is optional, but for graphs like pie chart, you definitely need to have a legend. Today we'll be touching a little bit on that. Okay, so based on the pointers given, they say, okay, you need to have a title. So a title is telling us what is this graph all about. So this is talking about the uniform preferences. So that's the heading. You must have that. Okay. Anyway, I will be showing you how to go about generating graphs like this later on. Okay, during the virtual class. Um, you need to have clear label. Okay, I mentioned to you what is my clear label. So you see the labels on the y-axis here. So you see you have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So can you see that they are all evenly spaced for each of the digits? So for every gap here represent 2. Okay, so and then look at the y-axis and the x-axis here. Okay, so look at this. Okay, start off with a gap here, and the bar is actually 2 square width, skip 2 square, and then 2 square width again, skip 2 square, it's 2 square width, skip 2 square, and it's 2 square width. So make sure when you're drawing on the given graph paper that you have, or in the exam, definitely you will be given square paper like this. Make sure they are evenly spread and done neatly. Okay, you must have ruler to draw. Okay, make sure you do it properly, and then the labeling. So you see this is the preference. So white shirt and black skirts and trousers, blue shirt and black skirt or trousers, blue skirt, blue shirt and navy skirt or trousers, white shirt and navy blue skirt or trousers. It's all labeled nicely, as you can see. You see evenly scale. I told you, okay, the scaling is very important. Make sure the gaps are all the same, all identical. Okay, that way I share with you. Okay, and then moving on to dot plot. So we have done dot plot before in primary, but I don't think we have taught you the skill on how to draw it. So this is how you go about drawing a dot plot. Quite straightforward. Whenever you're given dot plot drawing in the exam or test, make sure you do them well. It's an easy process. Okay, so first and foremost, you need to locate the two, the lowest as well as the highest number. So the lowest is 8 and the highest is 18. So you need to draw, a straight line with two arrows pointing at the extreme end, okay, going towards. So you start off with the smallest number, which is 8, then you continue to 9, then 10, 11, 12, all the way to 18. So far, okay? So you have to label and equally space throughout. Okay, then from there, again, you have to put them down step by step. The first one is 10, you put a dot, okay, stroke it off, and put a 10. Okay, make sure it's evenly spaced as much as possible. 8 is the next one, 12, 11, 12, 18, 13, 11, 12, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14. So you see you have already finished drawing this, okay, and we got to know, okay, what do you think about this distribution? So this data collection is actually more about the number of packets of potato chips being sold from a vending machine on each day. So on some days over the 2 weeks period, okay, so on some days you have 8, some days 10, some 11, 12, 13, 14, 18 packets is the most on certain day. So so we got to understand, why do we collect such data? Seems quite silly, isn't it? If we don't do, we don't collect data for no reason. It can be, oh, just for fun, I'm collecting data. There must be a reason, because it takes time and effort to put data together. Okay, so so any reason? Okay, I'm sure some of you can tell me the reasons during the live lesson. So basically, again, in statistics, when I see data collection in this way, can you see the data is more towards the left hand side? So it's skewed towards the left, and this is actually known as positively skewed data. It's more to the left, that's why it's called positively skewed. You have more data to the right, you'll be skewed towards the right, or it's known as negatively skewed. Okay, you learn that in year 8. So if you are a vending machine operator, will you use the mean, median, or mode to get the most profit? Think carefully. okay? In fact, for me, I will not even use any of them. I'll tell you the reason during the live lesson, okay? Okay, stem and leaf, very interesting, this one. In fact, in your book, there's some error here. This is meant to be 168, okay? Take note of that. When you draw stem and leaf, first thing first, you need to be able to put up the key. So this is how the key looks like. When you have a key, so you look at all these numbers, there are 3-digit. Okay, so it ranges from 100 and 125, the lowest. Yeah, 121 is the lowest, and then it goes all the way to 172. Okay, so instead of writing individual numbers, okay, stem and leaf will actually ask us to determine which part is the stem. So the hundreds and the tens, we have actually put it under the stem for this case, and the ones, we actually put it on the leaf. Okay, this is what it means. That's why you need to write a very clear key. This is 1 mark. Okay, whenever we are doing a stem and leaf, this is 1 mark. If you don't provide this, 1 mark is taken away from your answer. So let's say key, colon 12/1, then you got to equals 221. This is what it means. So next thing is I need to put the stem. So it started from 120 to 170 something. So I put it down. Okay, so 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. So I put down all these stems. So I'm going to put them one at a time again. So the first one is 129. Okay, so I put a 9, 148, 137, 125, 148, 163, 152, 158, 172, 139, 168, 121, 134. So you have put down all this stem and leaf, but the thing is, if we need to find out what is the middle score, it's very troublesome because they are not in order. So you have to actually put them in order again. You draw the next part, reorder the leaf. So then you look something like this when you reorder the leaf. Can someone tell me what is the reason? Okay, think about it carefully. What is the reason why we need to reorder the leaf? I'll tell you. I'll inform you during the live lesson. Okay. So with this, we are able to find the range easily, isn't it? The smallest and the largest number. Can we find the median? Yeah. Okay. So never mind. During the lesson, I'll ask you again. And the mode, which one is the most common one? Yep, easily. Can we do anything about mean? Not really. Okay, mean. In fact, both of this I'm able to find a mean because mean, the order is not important for mean. You just need to add the total, isn't it? Okay. Okay, next one. This one is more on stem and leaf, but now it is a back-to-back stem and leaf. Basically, you have male and female gender, so the table looks something like this. Okay, the table looks something like this, and remember you need to have the key. Okay, and then again, if you actually do it properly, one step at a time, you will actually get this outcome. Okay, and from here, you will be able to find the median easily, the mode. The mean, yeah, you just need to add them up again. Are we talking about the mean of the male? Is it mean of the female? Or is it mean of the whole group? Okay, so we need to find out. So once we have all this in order, then we will be able to solve the problems accordingly. So think carefully, for this particular question, we are talking about the age of people going to the bowling center. Why would the management of a bowling alley be interested with such a data? So do you think, as a management, I should be spending a lot of time and effort organizing maybe competition for those who are 50 years old and above? Not really, isn't it? Because truly, not many people actually play bowling at that age. So that's the reason why we need to use such data, for a reason, for a purpose. Okay, so we'll talk more about it during our lesson. Okay, so moving on, now we have this pie chart. So most of us know what's a pie chart, but we are required to know how to draw using protractor, compass, ruler. Okay, so let's say you are given this set of data, and we want to find out, okay, the most common type of CD that is being purchased. Okay, so that's the top 20. There are 40 people of them. Okay, so now let's go into the specific. So sectors should be ordered from the largest to smallest in the clockwise direction. Okay, that's a good habit to have. Each sector must be labeled appropriately, well, on the graph, and also using a legend. So remember, we are talking a lot about legend. So pie chart is something that we need to have a legend, okay, to tell us what each part represent. If not, you have to label each of them, each to tell us which each sector, what is being represented by it. Okay, and then now we also need to find out the angle for each of the sector. So I'll use the classical as an example. So, okay, all of us know the angle of a circle, isn't it? The sum of angle within a circle. Sometimes we call it a revolution angle. Okay, so and then we also need to know what's the population of this set of data. So population means how many uh, what was the total CD sold for in the music shop for this case. That's the population. Okay, that's the total. And of course, to find the angle, let's say for classical. So you know that 5 out of 100 being sold represent classical music, classical CDs. So that's why you get 5 out of 100 times 360 degrees to get 18 degrees. So that's how you get that angle here, it being 18 degrees. Okay. So let's move on. Okay, we're going to find ways to draw this. Okay, it's impossible for me to draw it online, but I'll just demonstrate to you just using the virtual means. So after collecting data for 120 people on how they would prefer to, how they would want to, spend their holiday. So we have people who say they want to holiday in Australia, some travel overseas, some stay at home. So that is the data collected. So we want to find out what fraction of it. So to find the fraction, we need to know what's the population again. So this is actually the population, is it? Because there were 120 people who were being surveyed. So that's how you get 54 out of 120 overseas, 41 out of 120 at home. To spend, their holiday at home is 25 out of 120. So now we need to calculate the angle. So basically it will be the fraction times 360 degrees. So Australia is 162 degrees, overseas is 123 degrees, and at home is 75 degrees. Okay, so now moving on. Okay, we need to put them according to the sector from the largest to the smallest in the clockwise direction. So we need to have a compass to draw a perfect circle. Okay, we need to use a protractor to measure the angles. So remember, this is the largest, that's why we clockwise direction largest, second largest, the third largest. So we actually put them in the order. Okay, so make sure your pencil are sharpened, okay, when you're drawing, to make this neat and tidy. Okay, then once the angles are all split up, then you can color them. Okay, for this case, there is no legend given, reason, because you actually you painted them according to 3 different colors, and you have the label within it. So people who want to stay in people who want to stay in or travel around in Australia, it's 54. People who want to travel overseas is 41. Those who want to stay at home, is 25 of them. Okay, that's how you go about doing it. Okay, when we move on to our live lesson, I will touch on how to draw pie chart. In fact, if we have time, we'll be able to go through how to draw bar graph or and histogram. Okay, so I'll catch you during the live lesson. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.